I see that means, and there we go. I say it happens. Good morning, everyone. Well, I'm sure you can tell by my little bit of green that I'm wearing. It is St. Patrick's Day, so a happy St. Patrick's Day. All that know me know how much I love this holiday, and yes, I will be having a green drink of some sort at some point. Starting off with a green healthy drink, though. That's a great way to start health and wellness on this Wellness Wealth Wednesday. Good morning, everyone. This is Carroll-Sue, aka Naughty Boss, Lady Canna, and now a published author with two
Sistas. Hey, good morning, everyone. My name is Janis, aka Wellness Diva 3.0. You know what? We're going with 4.0 today. Let's just say that, get that out of the way. Obviously, so many exciting things, and I feel like this is my first time, and it is my first time in a way that I would have never imagined 5 years ago. Oh, I would be a publisher. But first, I want to say congratulations, obviously, to my sister Carroll-Sue, to all the first-time co-authors who are now published authors. Their stories are flipping amazing, and I just obviously want to give them all a shout out. Michelle, LeMere, the inspiration for me behind this book, TheKnockOutShellie, Ariana Feldberg, Elizabeth Lupacchino, Tina Elizabeth, my dear niece, Shondra Leigh, and Justine Weinberg, and also our anonymous author, Arlene King. You are all the trailblazers. I would also like to say, you know, this project for me, and obviously it is Wellness Wednesday, and it's happy St. Patrick's Day. So happy St. Patrick's Day to everyone. What I write in the introduction is, and I'll share a little bit, obviously, because now it's published, so I feel more free to talk about it. You know, you start something with the intention of going one way, but it turned into so much more than that. And that's where the creativity was sparking. And I will just leave it at that, because those words kind of will pop out to you when you go ahead and read the book. Don't forget to download it for $1 on your Kindle. Talk about Wealth Wellness Wednesday and how appropriate. That $1 is going to help rank this book upwards to hopefully get us to bestseller status. And please leave us a comment about the book, 5-star review. That always helps as well, to get that book up there. So let's dive right on into, excuse me, Wealth Wellness Wednesday. I'm having coughing issues, and
That's okay. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, because obviously my computer was going off its rocker here, fell off its thingy, and then I got unplugged, and you know how that goes. So yes, I mean, how exciting that, you know, a lot of people think of St. Patrick's Day as a lucky day, luck of the Irish. And, you know, when I was thinking about how paramount that was for your anthology book and all of us co-authors with you, to have it released on a lucky day. And, you know, it was just kind of funny when you think about that, and how a lot of times people will get down on their luck with their health and wellness. And there is no luck involved. The whole key piece to whatever goal, whatever checkbox, you know, check that you're making off of a box of your to-do list, whether it's health, whether it's wellness, whether it's a project, whether it's a goal, something on your bucket list, luck is not involved. Now, when I say there's no luck involved, does it appear for some that luck is involved? Absolutely. Let's face it. You know, you have the elites out there that, you know, or you have somebody who maybe bought that stock at the right time, or that lottery winner, or that elite status, the athlete, the actor, whatever, getting, you know, promotions, getting sponsorships, whatever it may be. So sometimes for the average Joe, the average Jane, we sometimes fall back on, oh, I wish I had that luck. I wish I could do that. I wish I could lose that weight. I wish I could just get my house in order. I wish I could turn the clock back and have that body of 25, which that was a great discussion yesterday with Dr. Sylvia. But the truth of the matter is, yes, there's luck out there, but sometimes you got to make your own luck. And how you make your own luck is by doing the work, making the decision to do, making the decision to say, I can, I am worthy, I want to leave my legacy something really bright, I want to impact, I want to serve. When you realize that and embrace that piece of the universe, all the other blessings do come, but you got to put in the work, don't you think, Jan?
Yes, sorry about that. I
That's
was
all right.
checking the status. Absolutely, because a lot of times I think, when I had mentioned I would have never thought 5 years ago that I would be a publisher. Well, let's back that up a little bit. Excuse me, 14 books ago, I had the amazing opportunity, because a lot of times, to be involved with my first project.
Right.
And the name of that chapter was Shift Happens. And look at all that has shifted. But what that gave me a perspective on was that feeling that I had when I realized when I was asked to participate, which was very exciting, going through the process, the book being uploaded, getting all the stats that day, being so excited, and then finding out I'm an international bestseller. It really took me a while to think about that. In the click, in this digital day and age where, we're obviously behind our electronic devices now. I'm on my Mac. I have my laptop going, my iPad, my cell phone.
I'm just trying to get the Kindle to download. This is why she's in charge of technology. Lordy, you go on Amazon because that's where our book is at, The KnockOutShellie. And of course, you go onto your, your phone, you've got all your little Amazon icons. And of course, it says Amazon, Kindle, whatever. And it says update or not upgrade, but update to, I'm a Droid user because I'm not a big fan of Apple products. Do you think it's working for me? I haven't even read the book yet. I did read your intro, by the way, because that's listed. And I encourage everyone, when you click on the button, before you even get it, read the description, because you did an amazing job on that intro. I absolutely loved it.
Thank you. And so going back to that first time, and then fast forward to where we are today, excuse me, 14th co-author project, my first time as publisher. So I guess what I'm trying to get at and say is, if you have an idea on your mind, something that you want to do that has kind of been brewing for you, think of ways that if what you're doing will impact somebody, that will motivate you more to get it done. Now, as I've stated before, when I started this project, and Gary said to me this morning, well, hasn't this been going on for years? And I'm like, no, 1 year. But that's guys. What are we going to do about that?
That's right.
When I started out last year, we were originally going to publish in September, and obviously that's when our dad took a turn for the worse. So the project was delayed because of that, which was okay, obviously. But I remember Daddy saying to me, probably about 2 weeks before he passed, how's your project coming along? I said, well, I'm going to delay it for a little while. He said, well, that's okay, but you better pick up on it afterward. He gave me this look like,
yeah,
I'll be watching.
Right. And funny that you say that, because we chatted about that, and a little bit, obviously, because this is my first. I mean, I journaled, I wrote short stories. They're everywhere. You know how you just write stories or whatever. Those who love pad and paper, you understand exactly what I'm talking about, but never obviously had anything published, because I never even thought about that. I was so in awe of my baby sister when she had that first bestseller, but the fact that she had that goal, she had that dream, and she sought to witness the live project. And not that I always thought I couldn't do it, because I really think I always feel like I have that mindset. I've never put limitations on what I think I can do. And sometimes it gets done, sometimes it doesn't, sometimes it's postponed. But when Dad had taken the turn that he did, and we knew we had to pause a lot of things. We had to pause 75 Hard. We had to pause a lot of things that we were planning for TwoSistas at that time. We had to pause the book. And a pause in your health and wellness, a pause in your goals, a pause in your dreams, nothing wrong with a pause. Because I think inevitably that is part of the journey that leads to the next project, I always say, the next story, the next path. But Dad was one who believed in the don't quit attitude, never quit attitude, regardless of the pause. And we did have a chat about that. And it's funny when you reflect on, he's been gone,
Almost 6 months.
Yeah. And so when you think that, it doesn't even seem possible, because I could still hear him, and, he had that look about him, even though he didn't have his glasses on, he would, when he knew you were wavering or you did something you probably shouldn't have done, or you weren't going to complete something, he kind of like, he would pause. He would just take his glasses down. He would just give you that look. And, obviously in his later days of life left on this earth, he didn't have his glasses on. And he still made the look. It's still like, you're going to do it, right? You're not going to let your sister down, right? And I said, no, Dad, because ultimately I would be letting myself down. Never mind the other co-authors or whatever. I said, we will see it through. Jan will get it done. We're just on pause. And I feel his presence today. I feel Mommy's presence. Our mom was an excellent speaker, and she frequently did write articles for her travel business, and she had a newsletter. I think she could have been an excellent author herself. She was a Toastmistress. Like, she did the work. She didn't rely on luck, especially a woman in that time frame in the 60s, in the 70s, where women were kind of the Beav it to Cleaver moms, stay-at-home moms. Our mom was never like that. She was always had that entrepreneurial spirit, and I think that's where we get that from. But I think our need to complete, our need to not let it go to the graveyard is from our dad. So we get a great combination of our drive from either parent, and no parent's perfect. We're gonna go out there and say that as well. But they did give us a good round base and foundation for us to succeed, don't you think?
Oh, I think absolutely. And I just want to show everybody my iPad, because the Kindle app is up.
Oh, there we are.
There we are, right in the corner.
Right in the corner. I love it. If I can get my Kindle to work, that would be wonderful.
You may have to turn your phone off.
Really?
Yeah, because sometimes when you're trying to update with something like that and it's going round and round, you may just have to turn it off for a few minutes.
All right, well, I'll try that. There's no harm, no shame in turning the phone off to get my Kindle. Because now Kindle, from what I understand, Kindle only goes through Amazon now. Is that how it works? I don't even know.
It's also, I believe, through Barnes and Noble, but don't quote me on that.
Okay.
So
well, do you want to give, of course, we don't want to give any real hints to the stories because.
Right. Well, I will say the buck stops with the publisher. There were two things that I noticed. And sometimes it, obviously it does happen. I don't know how it happened. That's okay. It will be coming out for a second edition, probably in the summer or fall, so that we can get it in print edition for people to, excuse me, buy the book itself. A lot of the books that I have on Kindle, I also have the hard cover books, and there's some of my books in the back there. So if anyone is reading and they see what I'm talking about. I don't want to give it away because this just popped into my head.
Did you spell my name right?
Yes, I did.
Only kidding.
Hey, there's been
That
times.
on me because everyone knows I got fat fingers, and when I type away, I do write down, and then I, transcribe onto a computer. But I got fat fingers, so I think the fact that you decided to take this venture on, and knowing that with growth and with future books, because we already got things lining up already. That's part of the journey. So if you made a couple boo-boos, so be it. I probably won't. I don't necessarily know that I will catch it because, when I'm
and all I will say about it is there will be something in it for the first person who lets me know. And I'll just leave it at that.
Well, that would help if I could get the darn book. Let's see. I'm going to try this again. This is so funny. Digital day and age, and first day being published, and I can't even get the book.
That is kind of funny.
Well, yeah, considering it has to do with technology, it's right on. See, it says get Kindle for Android. I click that on, and it brings me, and it says uninstall or update. So I'm assuming I have to update, correct?
Right, but let's move this right on along.
Yeah.
And we do have a listener who happens to be our oldest sister. So good morning, Sissy.
Good morning, Claudine. I'm having technical difficulties. I know she can relate to that.
Yeah, out of the three of us, I think
she's worse than I am. Let's be real.
Well, yeah.
You're worse than I am. Especially with her text messages, and that's a whole other gamut. But today is St. Patrick's Day. What are you planning to do? I mean, obviously, I know you're going to be glued to keeping us updated with the climb of our book, which is super exciting. But I want to make sure that with that joy that you pause for a second, get some sort of green cocktail, green drink. Does not have to be a cocktail. It could be a healthy drink, as I'm doing my greens today. That counts as my green drink. And then, of course, you know me, I will be walking around with some green dye, just in case.
Oh my gosh, that's so funny. Well, I have some errands to do, the usual kind of stuff. And there is obviously a lot going on with the book today. I obviously will be checking stuff. Not sure how to do that, but I better learn fast. I'm actually in it right now, and I see we've already earned some royalties. That's kind of neat. It's just very. I didn't hear you say that. What?
I said I'm wearing this hat for good juju. It's my crown today.
Because we all need that good juju.
That's right.
So obviously a lot going on. We're very excited to be where we are in this space. And our book that we did together, The Quarantine Awakening, probably within the next 3 or 4 weeks, I would imagine. So, look out for that. That'll be another MelilloCirclePublishing. And also the TwoSistas through MelilloCirclePublishing will be doing our anthology. We are looking for amazing co-authors for this project. And what a great way for that entrepreneur, or maybe even the entrepreneur who just started, who's always wanted to be in a book, write about something that inspires them, about their journey of being an entrepreneur, how they started, why they started, where they are today with that.
Right. And the other key piece that we want to mention is this, this is a great first step for that first time author. You do not have to be already a published author. So we want to make sure that everyone knows that, yes, you can be, but you don't have to be. Maybe you've always wanted to dip into that. You find yourself writing little notes to yourself, or, maybe you've received compliments on how well you write a letter. I mean, I know a lot of people don't do that anymore because of the digital world, but I love writing cards. I love writing letters. And maybe you just thought, oh, someday. Well, someday's today. The luck of the Irish are with you. And we extend that invitation to you because it really is a great way to segue into the whole being a writer, being an author, without feeling like, oh, I've got to do this entire book. The short chapters are great. Jan, why don't you kind of review? I know we talked about 1,500 words, no more than 1,700 words, which is about equivalent to about 8 by 10 pages. What else would you tell that person that's kind of like, do I think I can do this? First of all, I'm going to tell you from this girlfriend, you can do it. Anybody can, if you put your mind to it, number one. But what would you tell our listeners and our viewers, kind of the gist of what goes into being a co-author on an anthology series, and why it's so good to kind of get your thoughts on paper?
Those are great questions. So the process, I'm obviously doing a little different because we are going to have up to 20 authors. We will have 20 authors. So it's an application process, not a big deal. It just helps me to be very organized. And for the author coming into this, the potential author, it is a chance to get your thoughts on paper. So one of the first things that the author will do when they are accepted into the anthology will be to provide me with a headshot. We kind of start out small because I have a feeling that my intention with this is that obviously we want to showcase entrepreneurs, but I have a feeling that there will be many first-time authors. So I wanted to do it in a way that I was comfortable with in the book coaching process. So the first thing will be to provide me with your headshot. And of course, that goes into many things. That goes into the social media graphics, the book trailer that I'll be producing. And then, of course, your bio, which is 300 words, definitely can be done in 300 words. So no worries about that. And of course, the writing aspect of the chapter. The first part of it is really just, what do you want to write about? What is the one thing that sparked your curiosity? And it could have been something as simple as your reasons for wanting to be an entrepreneur and leave your full-time job. I know many of us were thrust into that over the last year. And it really is a session of just writing everything out. Whatever, and I mean whatever comes to your mind, you just type it out. Now, I know a lot of people that have typed their first drafts on their smartphones under their notes.
Right. I mean, it really is a key way to, we're fortunate in the digital age that you can do that, or even just snippets of notes. Maybe you've kept journals all these years and you want to review some of those journals because there may be a subject matter in there that you can enhance and or do in a shorter version for this. And I love that we decided to do it with entrepreneurs because of this particular past 12 months. Like you said, so many people looked for other avenues of way to be successful. Being an entrepreneur in the direct sales space is the least amount of risk, and a lot of people have done that, which is a great way to not only take advantage of tax breaks, but also to provide extra income during those times where a lot of people were laid off, a lot of people lost their jobs. A lot of people had to make the tough choice that maybe now that because they have school-age children and they needed somebody there full-time, where maybe they were a parent that worked outside of their home, now had to make that choice. Hey, you know what? My kids are forced to be home. I've got to stay home too. If you were still fortunate that you worked outside of the home, outside of your four walls, let's say. So, you look for other avenues. Sometimes becoming an entrepreneur is an interesting subject because not every person, especially in direct sales or, the whole entrepreneurial spirit, sometimes you just don't wake up and like, today I'm going to be an entrepreneur. Today I'm going to belong to a company and be in direct sales. You don't always think that way. Sometimes it's because you fell in love with a product, a service. Sometimes you realize that you want to be your own CEO. You want to have control of your day. You want time freedom. You want financial freedom. And you're really excited to embark on that, to see where it goes. Those are the stories and the journeys that are so impactful, because not only are you sharing your journey, but you're also really showcasing and impacting other people's lives by your own words that maybe kind of tested the waters. Maybe they weren't really sure about it. Maybe they've been thinking about it and they thought, geez, how do I go about doing it? How does anybody else go about doing it? This is a great way to showcase your journey. So I'm really excited that we chose that particular subject, because I think there's so many people out there that, they have the entrepreneurial spirit. And what a better way to share with the world that it really is a valued profession. And a lot of people sometimes don't even think of it as a profession. They think of, you're, doing this for whatever, and not understanding that a lot of self-made people, men and women, have really started out with, being involved with a direct sales company, or maybe they wanted to open up their own little boutique store. How many of you are online boutique men and women? That is very huge, and it has been for the last few years. Again, another avenue for those that absolutely love to shop, decided to do their own digital boutique. And again, a great way, least amount of risk, because you're not, spending a lot of rental on a brick and mortar building. And especially over the last 12 months, where a lot of people could not get to their brick and mortar and had to sadly close down. So I think we're going to have some great stories, don't you think?
Oh my gosh, yes. And I feel the excitement in that. And that's what I want the potential author to think about it, who's maybe within distance of hearing our voices, or maybe listens to the podcast on Anchor or wherever they may be, and think, I've been thinking about doing this one thing, and this really would be a great way for me to become a published author. But think of it on bigger terms too. How is that going to affect your business? It gives you more
credibility.
Right. It gives you more visibility. It gives you credibility. Not that you don't have that right now, but I read, just to give you for instance, this morning when I found out that the book was live, I couldn't type fast enough, and I was like, oh my God, what do I do? What do I do? It was kind of funny. And I had all my devices out, and, as I'm posting it on everybody's wall. And then of course I started seeing some of their posts with how they were sharing it with their friends. And I just want to read one. I got to find this, because it made me realize that whatever I've been through, this was the moment for these authors to experience what I had experienced. It was absolutely amazing. And I'm trying to find it real quick now. Just bear with me. So, and of course I can't find it. But anyway,
that's always how it works.
Yeah. The gist of it though was, I can't believe I'm a co-author and also a cover girl. Who would have thought?
Oh, so Shelley, yeah, that is awesome. I mean, her transformation, I'm so excited to read it whenever I can get the download. But you talk about transformations, and that's the gist of the book, about different types of transformations. And obviously the theme of the book was based on her weight transformation. and kind of what she went through to get that journey. I'm excited to hear about that. So FYI, so you know, all the co-authors, we have not read each other's stories. So that's also part of the excitement, because obviously Jan has really set up a great camaraderie. We're in a Facebook group. We encourage each other, and they're all different stories. It's not just about, weight management. It could be, well, I'm not going to tell you what it is, but there are definitely different stories in there, but it all is rooted in a change, a spark to change, whether it's your health and wellness, whether it's your mental, whether it's your environment, whether it's a situation that you're currently in. It is all about change. And I think each story will not only impact many people, but there's a place for each story where it's going to touch someone that is going to be relatable. And that is the whole point of, I think, of being an author, even though this is, my very first venture, that I now can say that. I've always felt I was an author in journaling, and I knew the impact that words have. We always hear that kind of cliche phrase, words matter. Well, they do. They matter in such a way that you have a choice, just like we always talk about life is a coin. Everything in this world is a coin. You got a good side, you got a bad side, you got dark, you have light. You have the chance to impact other people's life with your journey. And sometimes the journey the whole journey is about the struggle to get to the end result that still leads into this other journey. So I think that, your words matter in such a way that it will impact. And what better way to imprint someone's heart? What better way to impact someone's day with positive words of kindness, but also sometimes the rawness of what someone goes through. And sometimes it's not always pretty. Sometimes it's hard. Sometimes it's a struggle. But those are the things that really impact other people's lives, where they can say, hey, I'm not alone. Like, this person's relatable because I'm going through something similar. Or, I've struggled with my weight, or, I'm this, I'm that. And now you've connected with someone's words and you think, wow, life isn't so bad. I'm not the only one out there. Don't you agree?
Oh, absolutely. And, just going back to Michelle on this project, I can remember our first time on the mat together, and I was instantly drawn to her. She's such a sweetheart. Such a great outlook, and just an amazing single mom. And she has a really good job, and she really inspired me from day number one. Definitely could do burpees better than I can. And and obviously we hit it off, and to see her before my eyes transform every time that I would see her. And I always go back to that day where I knew that I wanted to do my own anthology series, and being on the mat that day where it's like, okay, I kind of want to do this, and, how am I going to go about doing it? It's never going to get done. Oh my God, all those thoughts, like when you want to accomplish something and you're just not sure maybe what exactly it is or how to go about it. And when it hit me, and obviously I just came across when I was saying what she posted, and I just want to go to that for a second. It's officially on Amazon. Oh my goodness. I can now call myself a published author and a cover girl. So many feelings this morning of excitement and vulnerability. Everyone's story is like that. And obviously with her, Michelle's was obviously physical, but also with the physical sense, the physiological sense of where she was in her journey. And you would just have to see pictures, before and after pictures, which are just amazing. There are no pictures in this book. Hoping to do the second edition where I can perhaps include, that's kind of a different process, which I'm also learning, but that is amazing. And when you posted, that was amazing. Like, that was what I was after. I wanted
You succeeded. You succeeded. And, kudos to you, not only, like I said, being a successful co-author, you're in your own right, to have that drive to now say, I want more, and I'm going to take it to the next level and to become a publisher. So there, you have the patience for that, and there's a lot of curveball and learning, and there's still more learning to do with it. But kudos out to you for, inspiring the rest of us to, take that leap of faith and share a little piece of who we are. And like I said, it's not necessarily about luck. There might be a little bit of luck in there, but sometimes you got to just go out and do it. And the luck will come in maybe a different format, different way, may shed a light in a whole different ball game. But in closing, we're super excited. We're feeling super blessed. I thank you, as I can speak for all the other co-authors. We thank you for believing in us. And, on this Wealth Wellness Wednesday, which happens to also be St. Patty's Day, pay it forward. Make sure that you are bringing a little bit different luck to others that may be down on their luck. Make sure that you are doing the whole financial exchange. It has nothing to do with the dollar amount. It's just about paying it forward to an unsuspecting person and bringing a little joy and luck into their lives, that's going to spark them to do the same. With that, this is Carroll-Sue, AKA Naughty Boss, Lady Canna, published author, feeling not green with envy, but just feeling green with sparkle with two
Sistas. Hey, everyone. My name is Janis, AKA Wellness Diva, 14-time author, first-time publisher, and I'm going with the Wellness Diva 4.0. We're 4.0 today, baby. Woo-hoo. So thank you all so much. Again, I want to thank my amazing co-authors on this. Oh my gosh, so much to say, and maybe I'll be popping in from time to time. So everyone, have a great St. Patty's Day, and remember, spark your creativity.
Bye-bye, everyone.
Bye-bye.